Welcome back, crafters. Today I want to show you how to make a beautiful shepherd's hook centerpiece just in time for Valentine's. So let's get started. First, I'm going to take one of the metal planters from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to paint it white. For this project, I'm using the Everly white chalk paint, and I'm going to give it a good coat. Paint is usually pretty good to cover in one coat. I was so glad to find these metal planters at our Dollar Tree. I'm going to let this dry, and then I am going to de-stress it. Next, I'm going to take the shepherd's hook. Again, I got this at the Dollar Tree, and I am going to apply some of the white chalk paint to the hook and let it dry also. Now that the planter has dried, I am going to de-stress it just a little bit. I have a sanding block. This is something that you can use for your fingernails, but I use it to de-stress projects with. And I'm just going to sand lightly, especially over the raised areas on the pot, so that it will show through. I'm so happy to find these planters at the Dollar Tree. I'm doing it carefully, so not to take off too much paint. Once that's done, I'm going to take my foam block. I bought this from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue it right into the bottom. This is a wet floral block. Some projects I prefer to use the wet floral block versus the foam because the flowers do go in a little easier. And once I have that glued in, I'm going to take some moss. I also bought this from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to fill it all around. I did have a little problem with this moss. Some of it was pretty tangled. I couldn't pull it apart, so I did have to use my scissors to cut it. It still turned out pretty good. Once I got that moss all in there and situated, I took my shepherd's hook and I pressed it down right in the middle of the foam block. I wasn't sure how secure it would be, but it turned out pretty secure. Then I chose the flowers that I was going to use. I bought these from the Dollar Tree. I have magnolias, I have red roses for Valentine's, I have picks, and I'm going to stick my tallest floral right in the center for the height. I do apologize that the top of the hook is not showing, but I promise you, you will be able to see it at the end. Right now, Dollar Tree is putting out their spring florals. Some of them are very nice. So I am going to pop these in there. Many times I choose white for my florals because then I can change out colored for different seasons if I prefer to. I could use this same centerpiece for Easter and put pink flowers in it. I could also use it for Independence Day. I could have the red in there, add some blue. Many different things you can do to make it your own. It's turned out very nice. I love to add bows to my floral arrangements. So for this one, I did use some leftover Christmas ribbon. I have the buffalo check, the red. I did pick up the red with the white hearts on it at the Dollar Tree. Pillow check, and the red came from the clearance at Michael's. How I'm making my bow is I'm just wrapping the ribbon over itself 3 to 4 times, depending on how full you want your bow to be. Then I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to find the center. I'm going to pinch it in the center. Certain ribbons I do like to make a little notch right in the middle for my pipe cleaner. It does help hold a little bit more secure, but you have to be careful not to cut through your ribbon. So I'm just going to put the pipe cleaner through and twist it in the back. Give it a little fluff. And then I'm going to do the same with my red ribbon. Again, I'm just looping the ribbon over itself 3 times and pinching it in the middle. Then I'm going to take the red and I am going to put it over the buffalo plaid and secure it in the back with the pipe cleaner. Repeating the same with the smaller ribbon. Here I'm just folding the ends of the ribbon and cutting up to give it the dovetail look. Now to secure the ribbon into my floral piece, I am going to attach it to a piece of wire left over from flower stems. I don't usually throw my stems away. I do keep them and reuse them. And I'm just going to attach the stem to the back of the bow. And then I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on the pipe cleaners to secure it a little bit more firmly. cut off the stem, and put in the jewel. This one here I did make. In another video I did show how I make my own embellishments. And for this one here I used one for the center of my bow. Just to glam it up a little bit. So after I'm finished, I am going to insert the bow on the side. Many people like their bows in the middle, but I prefer mine off to the side, so I just like to offset it just a little. And once I put it in there, I'm going to fluff it again. It is wired ribbon, so I can fluff it out. And there it is. For this next part, I have taken a plastic container. I found these at the Dollar Tree. And I have marked it, and I am going to use a tool, heat it up, and make holes into the plastic container. For wire. Now for this particular one, I did use 22 gauge wire, and I cut 4 strips about a foot long each that I am going to attach to the plastic container. Our Dollar Tree did have those plastic candy dishes available. So once I have cut all my pieces, I am going to thread them through the holes that I just made by heating up the tool with the lighter. Just going to put the wire through there and give it a couple twists. Now I'm going to pull all of the wires up together, get them as straight as I can. And then I'm going to start twisting all of them together. And once I've done that, Then I will take it, wrap it around itself, and make a loop. To enhance my bucket, I am going to apply the red and white ribbon from the Dollar Tree with the hearts on it around the top. So just with a dot of hot glue, I'm going to go around the top and attach the ribbon. I just apply a little bit more glue at the end, tap it down with my scissors, and voila. I did find rose petals at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to fill it with rose petals. The shepherd's hook just needs something light to hang, and the rose petals were perfect for it. I think it turned out beautiful. Again, I did have to use something light to hang from the shepherd's hook. It is a little flimsy, so I tried something a little heavier and it didn't work out as well, but the rose petals are lovely hanging from it. This turned out to be a beautiful centerpiece for Valentine's Day. And if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button below. Happy crafting!